Cannolis and spins mean everything.
Now, you want to get mixed up in the family business.
Introducing The Godfather at ChumbaCasino.com. Test your luck in the shadowy world of The Godfather slot.
Someday, I will call upon you to do a service for me.
Play The Godfather now at ChumbaCasino.com.
Welcome to the family.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 18+. Terms and conditions apply.
It's the Stansberry Show. Rock 106.9.
And welcome to Thursday morning on the Stansberry Show here on Rock 106.9. We'll rock the bank with you. That at 9 a.m. I'll get that first $1,000 keyword passed out. We continue those throughout the rest of the day. Your first one at 9 a.m. Those you enter at WRQK.com and score yourself a bonus $1,000. Also, we're going to find out whether or not a large portion of you are cheating on your partners. There's a new thing being thrust forward. People are saying, okay, wait a minute. This is different than porn. This is different than Playboy. This is different than all this other stuff. You can't be doing this if you're in a relationship. And I've heard people in relationships tell me both ways. I've heard women say, oh, that's cheating on me. Now, plenty of women think pornography is cheating. I worked for a guy once whose wife told him, you're not allowed to watch pornography. That is cheating on me. I don't necessarily view it that way. But there's something else that's come out because of technology, and I kind of feel like, yeah, this kind of is cheating, I think, though. And we'll get to that coming up around 9 a.m. this morning. Also inside that conversation, your first Rock the Bank $1,000 keyword. At 8 a.m., we're going to have to talk about end of life. Keanu Reeves is one of these people who has an interesting viewpoint on a lot of different subjects, right? A lot of different subjects. And I believe he was asked once, what happens when you die? And I think his answer was, I know that people who love us will miss us. And I thought that was such a great answer. Because everybody's always trying to figure out, you're going to burn in a pit of hell, or you're going to heaven, or there is no heaven, there is no hell. Everybody's always trying to tell you definitively what happens after your life is over. And Keanu Reeves, I thought, had a great answer on it. They got back to talking to him about the subject of end of life. And he says he is the type of person who obsesses about death and thinks about it constantly. Yet, it's not quite as morbid as you and I would think it is. Like, it just isn't. So we'll get to what his thoughts are, what his viewpoint is on death, and we'll do that coming up at 8 o'clock. Also, guys, or I guess this is more for ladies. Ladies, let me guess that this has happened to you throughout your life. Now, some of you are married and not necessarily dealing with these types of problems any longer. But I'm willing to bet you've been out and about a couple of times. Out with the girls, having some drinks, having some fun, celebrating this, whatever. Meet a guy, and then next thing you know, it's like, you know what? This is probably not the best idea in the world, but let's have sex with this guy, right? And then you get home and you're like, oh, that is what he's bringing to the table? That is what he is? Apparently, ladies, a dating app has been created to try to help you avoid ending up with a man with a penis you don't think is satisfactory. They're trying to match you up with the perfect penis for you. A woman has created a dating app, and she says it is eliminating all the guesswork, and you'll be able to tell right away whether or not a man has what it is you're looking for. Now, not all women are looking for the same thing. I've told this story before. I interviewed porn star Rachel Starr once because I was attracted to her. I was like, oh, yeah, I'll talk to her. Absolutely. I'll talk to her. Right, absolutely. And so we got to talking about penis size, right? Because she spends all day on the set at work, literally with, like, you know, Subway sandwiches being thrown at her face. Right? So, like, this woman, like, she's kind of an expert in this. And I asked her about that. And I'm not sure if she gave me an answer because she knows guys are listening to the radio station and she wanted to make them feel better about themselves. But what she said I thought was interesting. She said a big penis is a lot like an amusement park. It's fun to go. I'm probably not going to move in there. And I thought that was a really interesting way to describe that. I think she was trying to make us all feel better about who we are, so we keep looking at her videos. But, you know, who knows on that one. But apparently this other woman has created a website, dating app, if you will, that can help you figure out which man has the perfect penis for you. And we will talk about that. We will get there coming up a little bit in the 7 o'clock hour. Also, Amari Cooper now back under contract with the Cleveland Browns, and John Harbaugh. I'm sorry, no, not John Harbaugh. Jim Harbaugh Now the coach of the Chargers has said something, and I mean outlandish, about being back on the field and coaching. Before going any further, I would like to take this opportunity to thank everybody, including all of our sponsors, staff here, and everybody yesterday. I wish I would have played a little bit better, but I decided to drink instead, so we did that. But we had a damn good time out there. Raintree, a fantastic host. That course, was in fantastic shape, and Patty and her crew do a great job. It takes us next to no work to put that on every year because of how much they take off our plate and handle for us. Thank you very much, Raintree. So very happy to be back there again, and I have a sneaking suspicion we'll be back next year for the Stansbury Cup as well. We saw a lot of repeat faces yesterday. That makes me happy. Also some new first-timers as well. Happy to have everybody with us yesterday. Thank you so much for taking part of it. You guys know I love my golf, and so that was a little good way for us to spend some time together yesterday. Get out of the office and enjoy. And I do some weekend stuff for one of our sister stations in Cincinnati. The Lunatic Fridge of American FM, 1027 WEBN. So I'm on that station a little bit. And they're obviously posting about it already this morning. And apparently people are already out in front of Great American Ballpark waiting to be let in because apparently the pit is kind of like GA. So as long as you have a ticket for that area, so they're trying to get as close to the barrier as humanly possible. That's how I know I'm old. I used to want to get me as close as possible. I want to smash up at the barrier. I'm going to spend 2.5 hours with my rib cage smashed into metal, man. That's how I know I enjoyed it. These days I'm like, I'll be back by the merch tent. I'll be fine all the way back there. Foo Fighters in town tonight. That should be NFL news. And my take on college football for years has been wake me up when it matters. Nobody plays anymore. You're 8 weeks into the season and everybody's beat everybody 80-0. I was like, why would I watch it? And I know college football purists kind of hate what's happening, but they got me all the way interested. The realignment of the conferences, the Big Ten, maybe some people don't know. USC and Oregon are now in the Big Ten. That's wild to me. Now, I've grown up an Ohio State fan, right, as I am, born and raised Ohio. I also lived in Oregon, so now all of a sudden you put them both in the same thing, and it's like, oh,